Good morning, everybody. It's a cup of JoJo, and I welcome y'all here. And good morning once again. Just in case there's a stagger on there, and the thumbnail, I'm sticking with the Mafia theme, and because people are interested more in that. But a lot of people say, "Hey, JoJo, does the Mafia still exist?" Well, the Mafia is one thing. Organized crime is another thing. They could be one and the same, or they could be two different entities. So the traditional mafia is the crime family, the initiation, and whatever rackets they were running. Traditional mafia. And they had organized, they would call that organized crime. It wasn't disorganized. And then you have organized crime. Well, organized crime doesn't mean that it's perpetrated by some Italian families in New York City. Organized crime is crime that's organized. And anybody that's organized and has a good criminal mind to make money can pull that off. So, one step further, the government can be organized crime. Look at the casinos and the lotto. It's organized crime. Just because there's a marquee on the building and everything else. So if does the mafia exist? Well, no, I mean, it'd have to be a small minor racket because those days are over. There's people that I might come across and they say, oh yeah, well, Vito's down there doing that. Well, whatever. Vito ain't doing nothing. Gambling's legal. Sports betting is legal. And there might just be a couple of big time gamblers that might gamble with a bookie that doesn't want anything on record with a sports betting outlet, a legal sports betting outlet somewhere. Some people are betting $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 probably, and they want to keep that private. They don't want it on a public record from FanDuel or Caesar's book or something like that. So there's guys taking that kind of action, but not on the broader scale that it was years ago. The average gambler's just going to wherever they got to go online. They could sit in their living room. So that just destroys organized crime. Gambling made a lot of money. So the mafia, traditional mafia, is barely got a pulse, okay? Barely got a pulse. Because what would their money be? Where would they get their money from? What rackets do they got? And drug dealing is taboo in that world. So that it wouldn't be the traditional mafia. Because how are you going to hustle money? How are you going to generate money? But the casinos are organized crime. They're raking in all millions and millions of dollars. Well, okay. Well, that's the person's, a person walks into the casino and that's on them. Yeah, okay. That's an argument. Nobody's dragging anybody into the casino, but it's still a fixed game. It's still a racket. Just because they try to pretty it up after they got everybody's money and their socks and their shoes and their mortgage and car payments, yeah, they try to pretty it up. Yeah, and people should be responsible for their own actions and losing money. I understand that. But the casinos are organized crime. They just pretty it up for the visuals. The visuals. They're showing commercials and the people are laughing and happy on the machines. No, don't be fooled. That's false advertising. Get a good Philadelphia lawyer, shut them down. Well, but they show that on TV, but they don't show the domestic argument between a husband and wife saying, honey, what happened? I think we just blew the mortgage payment and the car payment, and now they're fighting at each other's throats. Put those in your commercials, okay? With your 400 employees. How do you make a commercial with 400 employees and somebody would say, geez, they all got 6-figure salaries. I wonder who's paying it. The sucker sitting at the slot machine. That's organized crime. 400 employees. That's organized crime. Very organized. So that's all right. That's all right. So, the mafia principles exist as far as racketeering. Yeah, but the traditional mafia families barely got a pulse. And people ask about that. And, it's just like, no. The government is the bookie now. Government. The mafia wasn't into a lot of drug dealing, but the pharmacy's the drug dealer now. You see, it got monetized on that. It wasn't privatized. So, I just wanted to put something on here and throw it around a little bit. But fascinating that, how they present their product, and people are responsible for their own actions. I understand that. We're just trying to we're just saying the mafia, it doesn't barely have a pulse because the governments and corporations have taken it over. But it's all right for them to take it over. But if anybody else did it, it was a crime. And many people sat in jail for long periods of time trying to make a couple extra dollars. And now they're full-blown corporate casinos rocking and rolling. Worse than Al Capone. Worse than John Gotti. Worse. Not by murder. Them guys were murderous, but I'm saying principle. That their arms didn't stretch out to thousands of people blowing money on slot machines or whatever rackets the casinos are running. They didn't reach that volume, that population size. So I wanted to put that down real quick, and we'll get a devotion, and we'll get the devotion in from the Jesus Calling. It'll only take 1 minute, okay? Learn to laugh at yourself more freely. Don't take yourself or your circumstances so seriously. Relax and know that I am God with you. When you desire my will above all else, life becomes much less threatening. Stop trying to monitor my responsibilities, things that are beyond your control. Find freedom by accepting the boundaries of your domain so you can relax and chill a little better. Laughter lightens your load and lifts your heart into heavenly places. Laughing, that's all we like to do is laugh, laugh, laugh. Your laughter rises to heaven and blends with angelic melodies of praise. Just as parents delight in the laughter of their children, so I delight in hearing my children laugh. God loves his children laughing, feeling the spirit of well-being and goodness and everything else. Don't miss the joy of my presence by carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Yeah, life gets hard and everything, and we feel like it's impressing on us, and you're carrying this big burden. No, God carry the burden. Make time to laugh. Rather, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. My yoke is comfortable and pleasant. My burden is light and easily borne. All right, so that was taken from like Proverbs and Matthew. So that's cool. That's a little psychology. A lot of the spiritual stuff is just good psychology. You don't have to watch Dr. Phil and Oprah Winfrey and all that stuff. You don't. The real juice is from them scriptures, no matter what denomination you are. So, all right. My subscribers has risen. Thank you. My watch time has risen. Thank you once again. And I got a lot of different stories coming up. So thank you for watching. And excuse me, be the king and queens of your world. Stay great and stay safe. You'll be seeing another video very soon. Thank you.